We've lived in 6 provinces, all the way from BC to New Brunswick. And every time we moved, my husband would go off to the military base and go to work. I was home with 3 kids and didn't know a single person in any of those places we'd ever lived, because I'd never been there before. And a way to get to meet people, I've always found, is to join something. I'm very active in our church here, plus churches wherever we've lived before. And that's another place I do a lot of volunteering. And it's a way to really get to know other people when you don't know a single person, and you find people with like interests that you have. Quinte Grannies for Africa is an amazing group of women. The whole concept started in 2006 when the International AIDS Conference was held in Toronto, and Stephen Lewis at that time was Canada's envoy with the UN and in Africa, and he saw how the grandmothers were having to cope with AIDS. Now AIDS is we don't hear much about it right now in the news, but it's still just as prevalent in Africa as it ever was. And he saw that these grandmothers were desperately in need of help because their own children had died and left grandchildren. He brought 200 grandmothers from Africa to that conference, and they got up and spoke about the dire needs that they were having over there to just live. We started with the Grandmother to Grandmother campaign, and that's what I'm part of, and that's what this t-shirt is. It's an orange t-shirt, and that's our color for the Quinte Grannies, and we picked that color because it's a happy color, and we do like to be happy too when we talk to these women. And there's over 240 groups of grandmothers in Canada now to do with the Grandmother to Grandmother campaign. And what we do is raise awareness of what's happening to them over there, and raise money to go towards the projects. And there's 15 projects in different countries of Africa right now that the Stephen Lewis Foundation supports. Mm-hmm. And we support them by doing a lot of fundraising. But we have fun too. We always wanted to make sure, besides working hard, that we have a lot of fun. And it's an amazing group of women. I didn't know one woman when I walked in. I saw a little ad in the Belleville newspaper about what they were doing, and I said, this is something I think I'd like to belong to. And I walked in the door. I didn't know one person in that room, and they are amazing women, every one of them. Different walks of life, different places they've grown up, and we've all ended up here. And we're grandmothers, but if you're not a grandmother, even anybody younger in their 20s and 30s can belong, and we call you a grandother instead of a grandmother. So it's really a worthwhile organization to be part of. Anybody who does volunteer work will tell you that there's more life in you, that in fact it's been proven that you'll live longer. My parents had long lives. My mother was in her 100th year when she retired, and she had done a lot of volunteering in her lifetime. So I guess it just proves that, doing things for others and something worthwhile helps you live a longer life too. International Women's Day, I didn't know much about it until actually through Quinte Grannies, because we're a part of International Women's Day. March 8th is the day. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is, that's the day it's done on. And it's worldwide, trying to get people to think about women's rights, education for girls and women, and making life a little easier for women around the world. And in Belleville too, we have to remember, sometimes we forget that places like Africa, there's a big need, places like India, there's a big need, but right here in our own Belleville, Trenton area, there's a need for women are going through problems and need help themselves.